Sorry, forgive the sweat. I just went on a bike ride across the city. It's maybe only a few weekends left of weather that you're actually going to be capable to do a bike ride like that. So I'm a bit sweaty, but I on my bike ride, getting my blood flowing. I was thinking about Rudy's video that he put out today, titled "Mass Box Opening is Dead." And watching that video, I found myself agreeing with almost every point that he was making. When it comes to local game stores, they're not mass box opening as much as they would typically. I've even noticed buy lists around me are not only just lower, especially on draft booster box cards, but there are barely any cards on the buy list except for like the top 10 cards in the set. Very reminiscent of even like Dragon's Maze era. If you guys are old enough or played the game long enough. So what's kind of scary about all of this is I also will sell singles from the boxes that I do open for every set. I'm not a mass box opener, but I'll open a few boxes and I usually will try to sell some of the singles and I'll keep the rest and I'll make some janky decks out of them. But I've even noticed that the last three sets that came out, uh, unless they were collector booster box cards, like with the full art borders or the showcase cards foils, not a lot of them will sell. I'll even have people contact me and they'll ask me about the cards I'll have listed and they'll say, "Oh, is that full art border planeswalker? Is that foil or non-foil?" And I'll be like, "Oh, this one it's non-foil." I'm like, "Oh, okay, never mind, thanks." So that's not good enough. Like so, and they might be like looking for specifically foils, and that's fine. But I've noticed that there's a lack of interest in a lot of special cards unless it's like premium foil version of it. They want the absolute best version of a certain card. And when you're opening mass boxes of draft booster boxes, you're not going to be seeing those type of cards. And I think that moving forward, the best way for stores to even make any return on keeping sealed product in the store is to put pressure on Wizards to do box toppers for every single box of Magic cards that they do, because that's, I think, the only thing that's going to maybe not get the prices to tank, which I feel like there should be a sort of deflationary aspect to booster boxes, at least draft booster box right now. Almost every draft booster box set that comes out, even if it's still in standard. Look at Core Set 2021. That thing's already on sale. It just came out a couple months ago. Like I'll see them on sale for 30 to 40% off at local game stores near me, and then it dawns on me. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, because there's no box topper that comes inside Core Set 2021. There's box toppers for Ikoria, and there's box toppers for Zendikar Rising, but there wasn't any for Core Set 2021, and the prices are tanking. If you look at the prices for the draft booster box singles in Core Set 2021, they are absolutely getting annihilated right now. And I do agree with Rudy, and it's a kind of a scary future for Magic, because not only are local game stores not able to hold events, they can't even do mass box openings on the products that they're ordering. So how are they going to sustain? Like, how are they going to be sustainable in the long run? Unless you have a lot of liquid, unless you have a lot of money that you can just burn away. If you're just a small mom and pop shop that happens to, crack open a few boxes, sell some singles, and you used to get by on selling Coke, not Coke, Coca-Cola, chips and candy bars while you'd host tournaments, and that aspect of it is gone for the foreseeable future until things get back to normal. How are you going to sustain your business? What happened? He even mentioned local game store. What happened to all the people, saying that they want to help support local game stores? Like Tulare Community College. I don't want to you have to use his name for example, but he is one of the most vocal people out there when it comes to trying to print as many cards as possible, many versions as possible to get the prices down. But yes, the problem with that is when you print, well, not only if you just print so many different premium versions of new product coming out, but if you overprint cards and you keep reprinting cards, it's going to make players feel bad, and it's going to make them want to go out of the game. Look at what happened in Modern. A lot of people are getting out of Modern because they're just absolutely fed up with not only the fact that just there's no tournaments being held, but there's a lot of the value of people's decks are gone. Like people spend thousands of dollars on these decks. You know, like obviously it feels bad. It's like, well, I spent a lot of money on this, but hopefully at least it'll like it won't lose. I won't lose too much money on it. But then when you keep reprinting cards, and without any real tournament play, or without supporting the formats that you guys create, then eventually people aren't going to want to put their money into these buying singles. Buying singles will be dead too. So this is the one thing that bugs me the most when it comes to Modern, which is my favorite format. Every one of my decks has lost a substantial amount of value, and I have about 10 Modern decks. The only cards that kind of sustained any value whatsoever were the fetch lands. And that was the only thing that was not... Everyone, reprint the fetch lands, reprint the fetch lands. We need to reprint the fetch lands. Can they... For God's sakes, they got to reprint the fetch lands. So now Modern Horizons 2 will come out next year, and I will circle back to when that day comes. But this is a warning for my opinion. This is going to be a warning for me when it comes to Modern. If in-store and tournament play does not resume by Modern Horizons 2, and people are like, come on. People might even think I'm crazy for even thinking that. So like that, the pandemic won't be over by then. But I'm telling you, if in-store play and tournaments don't proceed to open up by the time Modern Horizons 2 comes out, and fetch lands are in those boxes, I'm telling you, fetch lands will never recover in price, ever. And some people might think that's a good idea, but you know what? A lot of people are just going to say, I'm done with Modern, and just sell their collections. And you know what? In a few months, we'll see how the world is going, but that might be a very strong possibility for not only me, but I imagine a lot of players out there. Because the real value, apart from a very small amount of cards in Modern right now, is all in the fetch lands. And if they get reprinted into Oblivion, it's going to be bad times for Modern players, because a lot of money was spent to create these decks to play. So anyways, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Do you agree with Rudy as well? Do you think that mass box openings are dead, or do you think that this is just a little blip in a long history of the greatest card game ever made, which is Magic the Gathering? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to read them, and I will see you again in the next time. In the next time? What am I talking about? See you next time. What is wrong with me?